Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to Speed Gaming, with Speed Gaming 3. I'm Star, here with commentating the Link to the Past Randomizer daily race. We've got ourselves mystery friendly flags. I am currently sort of co-commentator, so you'll have just me until we can find someone else. And, we've got today on Restream, Tankier and Duke Firebird. Should be a pretty interesting one. We have ourselves a Sword Star, it appears, and we don't have Randomizer. That's about all I can tell you from this right now. And we should be starting here shortly. Let me quickly put out a couple shoutouts. So shoutouts to our two runners on Restream today, Rylan Tankier and Duke Firebird, and also to my trackers here today, Word Traveler. As we get going, we have just an open start, it appears, as we find 50 rupees in Link's house, and I totally missed what was in the sanctuary. Whoops. Did someone else catch what was in the sanctuary? As I realized, we have ourselves a Triforce set, 20 pieces. There, it's 20 out of 30, if I remember correctly, is node. Oh, and that must have been a Triforce piece in the sanctuary, now that I think about it. As I see another Triforce piece on the Uncolt. Oh, good point. We also have Retro, so we have arrows cost money today. Kind of like the way they were in Zelda 1. Duke Firebird needs to not die here, and okay, manages to get the item, which is just some room money. As Ron checks the Lumberjack Ledge to be 50 bucks. Alright. And we've got ourselves a Retro Seed. They will need to buy this. So they'll need to have money for arrows. I believe it's 10 per rupees per regular arrow and 50 per silver arrow. I don't believe random damage is on. Villain here, I said, I believe they're in Lost Woods. Yeah! There's another Triforce piece, number 3 already. Jeez, in the Lost Woods mushroom spot. Duke is not checking the Lumberjack Ledge, which won't hurt him since we know it's just 50 bucks. As we see a heart container there in the Lost Woods drop down, that's a nice find. Oh, and that's a death for Duke Firebird there. Feels bad. Back to thank for him. Retro and Triforce hunt my least two favorite settings. Well, in that case, it's two of the settings I know the least about. I am primarily an Ocarina of Time randomizer commentator, and journey organizer and what have you. I am not as familiar with Triforce. Triforce Hunt's not too bad, but it's a retro that is going to throw me for a bit of a loop. But in the meantime, I've got ourselves Kakariko for on Raylan's side as Duke tries to not die. We got ourselves some blindsight. Oh boy, 20 bucks. Blue mail, 20 bucks. And gloves. Alright, that's actually kind of concerning that we have seen some green 20s already. That can be an indication of a couple different things. Usually indicates that there are items removed from the item pool. It's a retro green 20s? Ah, okay, thank you. Right, that's what it was. Thank you for reminding me. So yeah, thank you, because I am not as familiar. So yeah, retro, as we see Bloomerang on the bottle vendor, includes, rupee bow. The arrows are replaced with money. Some of the shops have been shuffled, the small keys now work anywhere, and there are 5 take any caves. Right. Good reminder. Forgot those aspects of retro. I think Rylan might have forgotten where the shops are. I might actually be checking for the Take-Hitty Caves, come to think of it, is what that is. Hasn't found any. These couple houses in Kakariko are still houses. As Duke finds his glove in blue mail. Back at the bar has here a red rupee. And we just haven't seen him at chat. Apologies, chat. I am learning how retro works. As you see, alright, there's some bombs and a key for keys for scales. Still there for Riddlin. I'll sort myself out as first time we're seeing the which has a mirror, and because Riddlin hasn't checked this yet, $300. And the heart container there. And the heart container in the chicken hut. Thanks, chat. Currently short of co-com due to the person who was assigned to be my co-commentator has pulled a no-show for unknown reasons, so I'm going solo today. As Duke goes shopping and Raylan's about to check out the items in the well. So basically both runners just retracing each other's steps here in Kakariko, really not seeing much of anything here. Have a glove, have a mirror, have blue mail. Nothing else of note really so far. They're apparently getting quite a lot of arrow drops, as Raylan is not going to do the trek south of Kakariko. Yeah, hey FaZe, yes we do indeed have retro mode. Raylan's gonna check out the back of Escape here. As Duke is going to go south of Kakariko, these checks that Raylan skipped earlier. Yep, it did. I don't know if random damage is actually setting its on in these these weights actually, but there's a map, and that is just the regular old map, so we don't have dungeon item shuffle either. That is good to know. So it looks like retro Triforce is what we've gotten ourselves today. That's about it. Looking at the flag set, it does, the weights is what they're called in here now. Look at the weights, there is no random damage setting here, as we see, oh dear. Oh, never mind, so there actually might be dungeon item shuffle, because I'm a scatterbrain, no, that's just retro is what it is. Tch. Yeah, we have ourselves retro, so that's just this freestanding key for Duke. As I remember my flags. Okay, so it is 20% chance. I might have just misread the weights then. That's fine. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, I see it now in the flags. Thank you. Flags, weights, spring. I commentated Zelda 2 Randomizer as well, which results in some game confusion when I tried to keep it straight. Riddlin needs to not die. By the way, did chat catch what was in the library? Because I admittedly missed it, trying to keep track of both runners at the same time. And Duke is going to do the front of Escape as Raylan finds two Triforce pieces in a row, some bombs, another Triforce piece, and hey, a bow in the old arm cake. That's not bad. So it's not retro, just rupee bow? Okay. Is that a separate thing? gonna sort that group. At least looking at the flags that I have, the weights I have, it doesn't look like Rupee Bow is a separate setting, but I could be wrong. Because the thing is, too, it is retro Sigma, because we've also seen interchangeable small keys, and we have seen keys in shops. I'm pretty sure it's full retro, and I'm pretty sure that for that matter, Rupee Bow is a separate setting available in this flags anyway. So we find nothing there, and the flute in the Ice Rat Cave there for Raylan. Sigma, I'm learning retro as I go, but I'm not that clueless. Yep. No take-any's in sight so far for Breland, who's been very thorough on that. Duke, a little less so, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that is correct, Sigma. That is how retro works, as Duke finds just a heart piece there. And Zelda's cell. And Raylan is going to activate his flute. Yeah, the only issue with that bow, as mentioned, though, is that someone in chat is correct that, Pirate is correct that bow is unusable for Raylan because they need to check all the shops until they can find a quiver in one of those shops for 80 rupees in order to actually be able to use that bow as Duke takes a death. Ouch. It could have been an intentional death or but I can't recall. And Raylan is here to go. There's the quiver. Okay, so that's in CAC. There's picking up a key as well since he's here. Duke's up to 3. There was one on the race game that he purchased one. I don't remember the third one was. Might have just picked up a second because they've gotten plenty of money so far. But Raylan is now going to go check out those checks south of Kakariko he skipped earlier as Duke heads for the dam. So far, they have collected quite a lot of Triforce pieces. For all the checks they've done, that was half magic in the dam we missed earlier. For all the checks they've done, they have found a sizable amount of Triforce pieces as Raylan continues to not find Kagami's. Yeah, we found a surprising amount of Triforce pieces for being 12 minutes in. We've gotten 5 on Raylan's side, 3 on Duke's side, and he's about to go to 6 after doing Mini Wildorm Cave. Raylan thinking about picking up that key and decides it's probably not worth it. Going to head up the mountain instead and get the old man. And do a couple things up here with Mirror and... He has the mirror, just the main thing here, so... Flute gives you logical access up the mountain, and Mirror gets you into the Tower of Hera, and that's about it at the moment. There are 30 total pieces. They need to find 20 of the 30 pieces, as Duke here is going to pick up his fourth, fifth, and sixth pieces, and turn it into Muradala in the castle courtyard to beat the game. Looked like there was a red crystal on Eastern, a crystal Hera, and I completely missed what desert was. Map check for Raylan. Blue Rupee on the old man. With Triforce Hunt, and this does go for other forms of Triforce Hunt and other Zelda randomizers, they generally try to have more than the necessary number of pieces because it's really not fun to go on a needle on a haystack hunt. Like, it would really suck if it was 20 out of 20 and some of the pieces were in Gan's Tower, for instance, here in this and behind 7 crystals. It would really suck if it was if it was a 7 crystal GT, as you see another piece on top of Spectacle Rock, and you had to go to GT just for that one piece because the game decided to put one there and you only have 20. Flute for Duke, nothing in Spectacle Rock for Raylan, and that'll be Raylan's 6th piece on top. I have forgotten where Duke picked up a piece that did not. Green Pendant Green pendant Meyer. That was pendant ice, and I completely missed the third pendant. Raylan, don't forget the piece. There you go. Nearly forgot to pick it up there, and it's time for Hera. Oh, this is also in these weights there is a 50% chance of it being hints on. Just the bug net in the Hera base in the first check of Hera, they're not going to bother picking it up. Raylan. I thought it was Duke who died in Lost Woods. Also, the Hera Big Key is non-existent. I think we might have just considering we have confirmed to not have key sanity and retro does not affect big keys. I'm pretty sure. I believe we have ourselves a beatable only seed, everyone. They are permanently locked out of Hera. Is it in the base of the retro small keys? It could be, actually. No, I'm scatterbrained. That's what it is. Hera beat. Oh, never mind. I'm scatterbrained. That's what it is, but doesn't have a fire source. Never mind. Thank you, chat, for reminding me how. That's what that is, because I can't remember all the aspects of retro all at the same time. Wonder. Alright, Saha's head for Duke as Raylan heads for Eastern. It still makes me wonder, though, if this might be beatable, only considering the number of travelers we have gotten in the Light World already, as we see Quake in Saha's hut and nothing in the first chest of Hera in Eastern. I trying to keep track of everything and losing track of a couple things. Apologies, chat. I've had better days. Alright, so that, and Duke is also heading for Eastern. They're running low on checks at Do at this point. Raylan, they don't have a fire source to continue further in Hera. As Pat has frankly reminded me, there's the big key of Eastern for Raylan. They have Akina, they have the Signal of Escape. Other than Dark Cross, which they don't have a fire source to put into logic. They have these checks here. The front of Eastern, they have Zora. They can't get into Desert. They have Agina. They're really running out of checks here. Zora's available, Pyre. Yeah. Red, Eastern, and Swamp, thank you for confirming the crystals. Kunish. Raylan's gonna get a fairy refill, not a bad idea. But yeah, after Eastern, it's Zora, Agina, and that's it for logic. As they see another Triforce piece in the Eastern big chest for Raylan. Now, the comment earlier about that Raylan got bodied in Lost Woods, I thought it was Duke that took a death in Lost Woods, but it might be that. Because I'm trying to remember where the because well, they are now even. Raylan's current extra piece is the Eastern big chest, which he just picked up, so Duke will be getting that, so they'll be even on Triforce pieces at that point. Raylan doing these dark rooms, out of logic. They are, by the way, run out of things to do. I believe that means that hints were off, because that says something about getting past the Red Igor. There's Duke's 7th piece. But we're out of logic here in Eastern without a fire source, so, yeah, Agina or Zora pretty much looks to be our two next choices here. Raylan gonna do the Eastern big key chest the vanilla way due to not having enough health really to get through the anti-fairies the quick way, just a compass. It could be an Agassiz at the rate we're going. The lamp is likely to be in logic soon. We're sort of running out of things to do without a lamp, or at least a fire rod. That would unlock some more checks. Yeah, it could be an Agassiz for A lamp and a Master Sword or cape would be sufficient to put Akka in. We do know the Lumberjack Ledge is dead. Raylan checked that earlier, but we do not know if we might need to do Akka for Dark World access. But yeah, at this point right now, though, unless I've miscounted, it is a toss-up between Zora and Agina for our final in-logic check for anything. They can fake Flipper to Hobo, but that would also be about it. Like, we are very low on checks at the moment. Like, even out of logic, there's not much as Raylan picks up his 8th piece and first crystal here. Ryua, there are 30 total. So that you don't have to go for a nail and haystack hunt and go beat 7 crystals just to get into GT for a piece, because that really sucks, for instance. Because if it were exact 20 out of 20, there's a non-zero chance that there would be at least 1 piece in GT behind some number of crystals, in which case it might be 7. Which, though, these weights are weighted strongly towards 7 crystals, so that would really suck if you had to do that. Oh, not much to be said here. Quake incoming for Raylan, the rest of Saha's hut was a load of nothing. And let's see where he goes next. And yeah, shoutouts to our 2 runners here, Raylan Tank here and Duke Firebird into my tracker today, Ron Traveler, who's keeping up with Mystery. Looks like Raylan has not done the front of his the uncle checks here yet, so it's going to do that. I believe that should be another piece. Yeah, there was one on Uncle. Duke is missing the one from Spectacle Rock. So they should be even again at that point, because I expect Duke to climb the mountain, and for Raylan's going to pick up the piece on Uncle. And actually, Duke is going to go to Agina first. Let's see what Desert Ledge is. Ooh, that's a really bad spot for Boot. Boots on the Desert Ledges. Not fun. They would like to get Boots sooner to go fast, but that's currently locked behind Mitt. And possibly also the or the book. As Raylan heads for the front of Scape, which we know has absolutely nothing. Duke checked this earlier, there was nothing of note. And another Triforce piece on Agina means that Zora is the only location left in the game in logic. And also do Hobo, and that's still it. We have run out of every other check in the game. So neither runner have reached that point yet, as Duke should be... Oh, okay, Duke is indeed going to head straight for Hobo and Zora, it looks like. Nice fake Flipper. I was wondering if he would head for the mountain first, as... Hey, Jaxie!
Hey. I signed up for this. So I seem to get a mystery Triforce Hunt in our hands.
We've got ourselves a retro Triforce Hunt. Other than that,
Retro?
Yep, it's retro. I am sounding like an idiot because we know nothing about retro. Do you know anything about retro?
I do know some things about retro. So retro, is very much akin to Zelda 1. So we have a ruby bow, which means we technically do have infinite ammo, but it costs 10 rubies to fire a normal arrow, 50 to fire a silver. Keys are universal, 10 small keys are actually removed from the item pool, and so we have to buy some in shops. And there are, I think, 3 random locations that are replaced with Take Any caves.
Yeah. So, on a different note, yeah, this is going to be Lander for Duke Firebird. Thank you for refreshing our memories, because I've been sounding like an idiot and reading off the wiki page pretty much.
Don't worry, I'm as much of an idiot for completely forgetting to show up.
You're all right. It happens. Glad you're all right. So far we haven't seen any take any's. That is a good point. The take any sword might be required to access Aga because, right, that is the other issue. We have run out of every logical check in the game besides Zora.
Yeah, Take Any's. So how the Take Any's work is, oh yeah, it was also a short sword apparently.
Yeah, it was a third sword,
take
random enemy damage,
yeah.
retro
So
Triforce
Take
damage.
Any's. Yeah, so Take Any caves. They will replace any cave that's basically useless. So I don't think they replace the Rupee Farm caves, but they can replace like the Lumberjack Hut, houses in Kakariko. Oh, and there's an example of Take Any cave right there.
Yep, Rillin autopiloting out before realizing maybe I should go back for that. That's the only one we've seen so far, by the way, is we have not seen another one.
Now, the thing about Take Any caves, and especially with the potion refill and the heart container, is that the heart containers, these are not accounted in the item pool. So you can technically, get 20 heart containers, and the rest will just turn into green 20s. So they aren't accounted for.
Understood. By the way, there's a Triforce piece on Zora Ledge. So far than that, okay, so what is the last location in Logic? Whatever this is. Hey! Hammer!
Oh, that's the hammer.
Darn. So far, what we have found is a bow in the mini Moldorm cave. There are a pair of boots on the desert ledge. The glove was in Blind's hut. Quake was in Saha's hut. The blue mail was in Blind's hut. You just saw the hammer. The flute was in Ice Rod Cave. The bugnet was in Hera. They have the mirror from the well. They started with a sword, and they have half magic from the dam. And they've got a whole lot of Triforce pieces because the game threw a ton of them threw a ton of pieces at them. Raylan's at 10 and 26 minutes in. The one that Duke is missing is on top of Spectacle Rock. So they'll be even here shortly. But yeah, kind of dry sea. He just has thrown a lot of Triforce pieces at them. Hera is hard fire locked, by the way. Braylon has been up here already, dipped in, found the bugnet, and I don't remember what else in the first check of Hera, but nothing notable. And got locked out because they don't have a fire source. I think that was a key on the Lake Island.
Well, if this is Aga required, we still need a lamp.
Yes, we do. Hobo was the only other technically available check, even if out of logic, and it was junk. What?
I'm assuming this is Map Compass Shuffle?
No, this is not. There is no dungeon item shuffle today.
Ah.
Had some confusion over that when we saw a key on race game, but nope. It's just regular old item shuffle for dungeons.
Yeah, that's something you gotta think about with retro, is that, like, keys can just be out in the world.
Yep. But yeah, I'm not sure Duke has remembered that Take Any caves exist, I'll be honest. Hasn't really been checking the one-off entrances that could have Take Any's.
Yeah, Take Any caves, like, they're sort of an ignored thing when it comes to retro, just because it's like, yeah, like, you can get, like, a sword guaranteed from it, and that's, like, the only thing that's removed from the item pool that's actually important.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so there was another Triforce piece in Spiral Cave, putting Duke to 11. I'm wondering if it's hilarious how many pieces we've gotten without ever getting Darkworld access. I know beatable only is quite rare, but it does make me wonder.
Well, beatable only Triforce Hunts actually. Well, there's a Moon Pearl.
Alright, oh, there's finally Dark World access. They do have a glove and a hammer, so there we go. I was wondering where that wound up, but it's been funny.
Yep. We do. Yep. There's that Moon Pearl in Paradox Cave. We got 2 pieces of heart. We got another Triforce piece.
Flippers.
Flippers, and we got another key.
Yeah. So finally, progression, because this seat has been extremely dry on items. Pieces galore, but low on items. Let's see where Duke goes next. Mildly confused as to why he's walking and not fluting anywhere.
Did he not activate the flute?
Oh, he might not have point. No, I'm pretty sure he used. No, I'm pretty sure he used it to get up the mountain. So I'm just not sure why he didn't flute the cack. Oh well.
So in terms of accessibility, beatable only with Triforce Hunt is actually not very enjoyable because that ensures the game's extremely front-loaded. Because technically speaking, we don't need to really beat anything in the. We don't need to really beat any of the dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Pyrolite maybe to hit Zoria again for the Waterfall and Triforce piece, but I think Red Duke's gonna wait until he's on like 18 or 19 pieces and then go back there for that. As there's a key in the chess game. Raylan's about to get the payout from Paradox. And as mentioned in chat, there is also you can also now with Dark World X just combine catfish into those checks. As we see silver arrows in the brewery.
And Duke Firebird does remember that silver arrows, they do cost quite a lot to fire, so he does the wise thing and switches back to normal arrows.
Yes, indeed, because those cost 50 apiece, and they don't really do much in 5%, honestly. You really don't need silvers for much at all. They don't need to be Ganon. Hopefully you never get Demetrius. Silvers are kind of
silvers just cost way too much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really no use for them effectively in Retro Triforce Hunt. Here's another key in the front of Thieves there for Duke. Hype Cave time for Raylan. $20. Well, there's phase 13 and a bottle for Raylan, so
that's nice.
6 or 7 out of 10 maybe for Hype Cave. I wouldn't call that the greatest thing in the world, but it's not terrible at least.
Yeah, it's I mean, hey, it's an objective, like, you know, who's gonna complain?
Yeah. Alright, there's a big key, nothing else in the front of Thieves for Duke. Steve's at least been pretty generous with keys. Raylan's got 5 and Duke's 6 right now, so they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, well, the key logic within Retro is that basically key logic is removed because you can buy keys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, keys you can just... Because keys are just pretty much available, and the game assumes you have infinite money, effectively. Which you do, you just have to grind up as Raylan picks up piece number 14 off Cave 45. By and large in Triforce Hunt, one of the big things is to rush density, because the more checks you can get, the quicker you can get checks, the more likely you're to find pieces, since there are quite a lot of pieces and there are extras. So take the items you have and rush density, which is what Duke is doing more or less as Raylan does some overworld cleanup. Is Duke's doing Thieves Town, which has quite a few items here. 5 total since it's retro. The usual floor plus the small key is now an item. A lot of digs here for Raylan. Dig game is not being nice. But it is a Triforce piece, so that took a while, but hey, it's worth it. That must have been like 20 digs there, counting. Raylan is now going to flute off. Probably gonna go to the CAC portal now, I'd expect. Nope, time for Pod, which I guess makes sense also as far as density goes. Pod does have quite a few items, and Raylan doesn't care that half of it's out of logic without land.
Yep.
But, although there's more of it in logic since there are no
Pod,
keys.
Yeah. Pod does get quite a bit more valuable when it comes to small key shuffle.
Yep. Because you can now do the front and find items instead of keys galore, as we see the cape in the Thieves Town big chest. Nothing really, though, in Thieves Town for Duke, which is kind of unfortunate. Just a cape. Raylan's now 3 pieces up on Duke, and if Raylan is able to find 4 pieces here in Pod, that will be go mode, because they do know of their 20th piece on Zora Ledge, and they both do have flippers. Duke here is going to pick up piece number 13 off the dig game after doing however many digs this was.
Yep, and Raylan's just going to venture deeper into Pod as we find the map.
Yep. There's the piece finally for Duke. And a piece for Raylan, that's 16. 3 more for go mode. Kind of slow as far as Triforce Suns go, with how poor the progression was in some places. Duke is going to get piece 14 here, and then 15 off Hype Cave, I'd expect. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Duke goes Pod as well after checking out Hype Cave. Raylan's already found one of the 3 pieces he needs for here. Here's another 20. And the compass. Alright, front of Pod had 1 Triforce piece and a whole lot of junk. Now, the back of Pod, there's only 2 checks in logic in the back here without a fire source. Whoops.
Oh my god, wait, what?
What happened there?
I'm a little confused
Because the bomb exploded, he got knocked back to the door, and then the switch flipped again? I'm not sure what happened there either. Raylan's falling into a lot of holes, apparently, as Duke's up to 15 now. And actually, Duke is heading for for Swamp here, it looks like, which is also a very checked-on location. Does have flippers and a hammer. That would make sense, Sigma, that Lacrims can cause it to hit twice. Alright, so Raylan finding a heart container here. Just the one piece in pod so far. And another bottle. Really not much in pod. Yeah, there's finally another piece. Try harmless hallway. That's not very useful. If Duke is able to find the 3 pieces here in Swamp, might be able to save some time on Raylan here, as the pod is so far not proven to be particularly helpful. 2 pieces, one in the front, one in the big key chest, one in harmless hallway, and a load of junk besides. There's another piece in the big chest at least. As well, the shovel's not helpful for Duke.
Yep, so Raylan just needs one more piece, and then just go get that one on Zoral Edge.
Yeah.
We get a tiny shield.
And it's entirely possible that there's another piece in the Waterfall Ferry which they were not able to check earlier due to not having a Moon Pearl or flippers. Pod Dark Maze was absolute junk, and Raylan's out of here. Ooh, that's a death for Duke. And it looks like Raylan is going to go pick up that piece in Zoral Edge and see if there isn't one in Waterfall Ferry, which makes sense, honestly. Might as well. If there is one in Waterfall Ferry, you're done. Cane of Samaria and Harpy, so not go mode. Alright. Cane itself does absolutely nothing for us.
Yeah, we don't got mitts, so we can't get to any of the dungeons that actually use it.
Nope. So I would call that a waste of time. To check that. I mean, it makes sense. It just didn't end up paying out. Duke has not found a single piece so far in Swamp and only has a couple of checks left in here, which is not good. Yeah, it is 20 out of 30 pieces, correct, Zog. Good luck. Is what Triforce Hunt is. Not sure if you know what Retro is. Oh, there's another check available for Duke, as Raylan's about to get his 19th piece. And, time for Diver Down in for Duke. Raylan going to back up down here and going to Flute. Let's see where he goes. No, you do not need to beat Cannon. You clear your 20 pieces, and you go to Muradala in the castle courtyard, and you're done. Sick Kid is not a piece for Raylan. Puts it. What Raylan is doing with Zoral Edge is that he was hoping that his final piece would be in the Waterfall Ferry, which was a entirely fair check, just in case. If it had been there, he would have been go mode as, hey, speed gaming with a party of 115. Welcome into the Link of the Past Randomizer daily race. We've got ourselves here Tank here and Duke Firebird on race stream for a retro Triforce Hunt. Yeah, retro Triforce Hunt seed. Speaking of density, Raylan is rushing the front of Skull Woods, which also has quite a few checks without the keys. Another bottle in left side swamp. Duke has to go around.
There's case number 20.
Yep, Raylan's done. That's GG's.
Rail. I was a little curious as to why he didn't just save it.
Yeah, I don't know either, but that'll be GG's to Raylan here, who's going to have to finish up once he turns it in. As Duke is going to check out the last check left in Swamp, which has a heart piece. So Swamp was unfortunately not the play. And GG's to Raylan. He is done.
And Raylan.
44-23.
Very, very excellent time.
Very much indeed.
And we're joined by Raylan Tank here.
GG's. You are muted, for starters. Blue, you are muted. If you're trying to say anything, Raylan, we cannot hear you because you are muted in Discord. As Duke finds not a Triforce piece on the dig spot.
So, hi.
Now we can
Hello.
hear you. GG's.
Somehow Windows Update just messed up my sound settings, so I just confused for a bit here. But yeah, GG's, what the weird seed and mode.
Very weird.
I think it was probably pretty much visible that the damage shuffle and retro and Triforce Sun combination really threw me off in the first 20 minutes, so it was really to get my thoughts together. And the hammer on Zora didn't help.
No, that was the last location for both you and Duke Firebird. Because and just it was the last location in Logic and last location generally, because Hobo was the only other check you could do out of Logic at that point in the game.
Yep.
Hey, speaking of Duke Firebird just found piece now, his 16th piece on the Pyramid Ledge.
Yep, and we did have two more finishers. We had NY Rabler finishing in second place with a time of 45:57, and Illis finishing in third place right behind him with a time of 46:01.
Yep, what a snipe, GG's. And looks like Duke is going to head for Pa now, going to pick up 2 more pieces here. Was there 2? 3. That'll be his go mode. So yeah, what did you think of the lack of items, really? The seed did not give you much.
It sure didn't give you much. It's hard to say. I don't think I really played it that well in the beginning, even with those items, routing-wise. But it was Triforce Hunt, and I tried to go for density and not do all of the off checks, or skip some of them, and didn't really work out. And then I kind of remembered retro and was somewhat worried about that take any cave sword that maybe just Agar Dark World Axis. So I kind of stumbled around there for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was worried that what your logic would be really for the seed, since there was just no Dark World access. There was not much in the way of items. We didn't see the second sword. There was no fire source. There was really not much of anything.
I mean, it would have been really easy to be an Agaseed with retro and infinite small keys logic-wise. You would have just needed a sword, which could be the take any cave sword, with a short sword that we also had. and a lamp for Aga to be your Dark World access, and I was kind of hedging my bets against it, or trying to take any caves, which I was not really that successful in. But,
No. The Duke, in fact, didn't check for take any caves at all. And question from Chad. Zora Ledge will be Duke's 20th once he gets his 3 pieces out of here. This scene was a bit odd. So you managed to avoid Thieves Town and Swamp Palace, which is where Duke went. Neither had any pieces, unfortunately, for Duke. Thieves Town had a cape. Swamp had junk. Well, Swamp had a bottle, correction, and that was about it for anything. So it paid out for you to skip those 2 palaces and just go pod instead for your density.
After that full clear in the light world and the trip to the mountain, I fortunately had an abundance of keys, and with the bow found and the arrows already bought, I looked at my tracker and kind of run, or was going through my head about how many items Pod does have in this mode, because small keys are taken out of the dungeon pools and are in the general pool. So Pod with 11 items felt really, really attractive, and it being a pendant didn't even matter at all or does not matter at all for Triforce Hunt. So I really just felt like, okay, Pod is the play here.
And it got you 3 pieces, and then you went to get that Zora Ledge piece, hoping there was a piece on the Waterfall Ferry. There was just a red cane that was absolutely useless at that point of the game. And then, why did you go front of Skull Woods of all dungeons for your next place?
Same as Pod. 3 small keys are taken out of the dungeon item pool, and that's 3 more chances for there to be a Triforce piece, and 5 items in Skull Woods front are closer together than the items in Thieves Town. Also, with normal or without Dark World access through mids, you have to take the portal around the way around anyway, and you're closest to the Skull Woods entrance at that point. So it really is just the best option, or was the best option there.
Yeah, and it paid out with your 20th piece. According to NY Rambler in chat, he apparently did a pretty similar route as well.
Yeah.
Duke here is about to hit go mode. He's going to open the pod big chest and get out of here. That'll be Zora Ledge, and he'll be done here in about a minute. Yeah, you guys routed a little bit differently. He had a little bit of trouble in Lost Woods, but he did do the checks just south of Kakariko first trip. Did South Shore. He did the escape early. He did the mountain late. But you guys were in Eastern at the same time. And I think he was slightly behind you going into Eastern, if I remember correctly. He was slightly behind you going to Eastern, Raylan. And then you both, I think after Eastern, you went to Escape, and I think he went up the mountain, and then I forget where he went at that point. But eventually, you guys both wound up last locationing Zora. Not a scam for a change.
But Zora in retro, without the Moon Pearl, without flippers, is a really hard check to make early. Because you do not really want to spend your money on Zora, because that's 5 small keys that you can spend on maybe checking Pod for 10 more Triforce pieces than Zora ever could have. So Zora is just check. That's not the first most or the most important check to you in any of the retro seeds, and especially not in Triforce Hunt.
There's Triforce piece number 20 for Duke Firebird.
Yep, we'll be done here shortly, and then we'll see if we can get him in for an interview. Yeah. Oh yeah, Duke did end up finding silver arrows in the brewery, Rayland. Which are, of course, absolutely useless in retro.
Maybe even worse in retro because they just cost even more rupees.
Yeah, the Duke switched immediately back to wooden arrows. GG's to Duke, finishing 4th at the time of 54.02. And here also Sniping Noob Scooter, finishing 54.39. GG's.
We're
Hello.
joined by Duke Firebird.
Hey, that was a seed.
That was a seed,
GG.
yes.
General thoughts?
General thoughts. Rope's hurt. A
Yep.
lot.
You guys
Bird
both
hurt.
took
Yeah, I
guys
think
both
what
took some
was that like
deaths.
2? What was that 2 or 3.5 hearts
something
from those
like that,
ropes or
yeah.
something like that? I was like, jeez. And then made the wrong decision dungeon wise. If I would have went to pod, that would have probably been a bit different, I think. Since I dipped into a swamp, got nothing for it.
Yep.
Swamp in Triforce Sun, especially without hookshot, is really low dungeon for low checks and not the most items. So
Yeah, but I was like, I'm here. I got the flippers, and I'm like, Sometimes I played the breadcrumb and it didn't work. So. Not too often I see my inventory this barren, and darn that boots location, by the way.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was just a troll. It's like it's like at that point you guys each had like a dozen Triforce pieces by the time you got to the Dark World, I think. And
Yeah,
it's like, I think you. I was like, oh, that's a terrible spot. They're probably not getting that.
Like, the only way we would get that is if we had mitts. If we got mitts, then yeah, we're grabbing that, because that's an easy Meyer check, and that's at least 3 more checks, and then, hey, free boots, and then we can pop into desert for a quick 4 items.
I assume they were on the desert ledge.
Boots are on desert ledge, yeah.
I didn't really, or I didn't check because it didn't really matter at that point, or it didn't really matter because it's not that easy to get desert access in this mode.
Yeah.
Even if you get
Yeah, I ended up checking it before I went. I was gonna go to Death Mountain last because it's like the only thing I have access to is Hera, and even then I can't do the basement because of no fire source, and then on top of Spec Rock. So I was like, all right, let me finish up these checks real quick. Did that and decided to chance getting Zora, and that paid off, getting the hammer. And then was able to just basically do the mountain in one go.
I mean, overall, though, just difference between you was, well, Duke, you took a couple extra unfortunate deaths, but the main thing was the difference was just choices in dungeons and real impact. Unfortunately. And that's random
is what
for
it is.
you.
Yeah, exactly. Is what it is.
Yeah, at least the one thing you did benefit from slightly was that you did get the Triforce piece off Pyramid Ledge while heading for Pod. Raylan's 20th was in the front of Skullwoods.
Oof. Yeah, that was actually going to be my next location after Pod. Actually, no, I take that back. I would have checked Catfish first. I would have done Catfish into the waterfall into grabbing the piece that was on Zora Ledge, and then I would have went to Skull. So odds are there probably would have been a piece on catfish or something. I don't know.
When I left Port with 18 and knowing the one on the Zora Ledge, I still had Waterfall Ferry open, so I was hoping for those two to have my 20th. And
Very
didn't really
valid.
want to do Pyramid or Catfish because they are both very, very, very slow checks and only 2 at the front of Skullwoods with up to 5 possible checks was just more attractive in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, after Pod, I probably would have at least went to Catfish because, I mean, you got Catfish and then you're doing the 2 in Waterfall and then you're guaranteed a Triforce piece. So I don't know.
But with the flute, you can just flute to the water portal and be way faster at your 90th Triforce piece with 2 chances at the 20th and
against the
Catfish
slow with
just
3 chances for the 20th.
For walking up there for a minute, I'd rather spend that minute getting to Skullwoods and then have 4 additional checks on top of it.
Yeah, I mean,
My reasoning.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like either way makes sense in my opinion. Because then one, you're eliminating one entire side of the map, and then the other is you got your density. So. Yeah, but was fun.
Yeah. Like, did you guys more or less mostly enjoy the mode? Retro Triforce Hunt a little bit unusual, not quite what what you usually.
I like retro. I'm one of the weird people. I actually like playing the off modes. So like retro, inverted. I find those ones more enjoyable.
I have nothing against retro, but I really, really don't like the combination of retro and Triforce Hunt. It is just weird and not feel very, very, very good. You have kind of 2 opposing sides of playstyles clashing in that mode. Because in Triforce Hunt, you really, really want to play density, and retro, you want to hit the off checks to take any caves out of the way, and it's just a mix-up that's not that great. Although you could probably argue in Triforce Hunt you were not worried that much about take any's.
Yeah, I actually didn't.
Yeah, you didn't check it. That was my next question for you, Duke. I was actually just didn't check for take any's like at all, as far as I can recall. But Seed.
Nah, not. As soon as the moment I saw the Triforce symbol, I was like, okay. The first thing I noticed was obviously the lack of the arrow, so I was like, okay, we're in retro. And then I saw Triforce Hunt, and I'm like, okay, I don't need to bother checking, unless I somehow really want health that badly. And then didn't really. And then yes, there's the chance to get a second sword, but I'd rather not waste my time on that kind. If it was a pure retro, I probably would have checked a couple, just to try to get a sword.
Raylan did check quite a lot of entrances for take any's. He only found one in the desert area, like by the purple chest guy is what I call it.
The desert hideout?
Yeah, that. He found a take any cave there with a heart container, and that's the only one we saw this sea that I can remember.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're probably up on like Death Mountain or something.
Probably.
Not sure Death Mountain can have many. If they're all connectors mostly.
Well, I think you can have. I think there's 4 single caves. I think I could be wrong. 1, 2.
Not sure.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of connectors. Yeah, there are a lot of connectors up there, but I think there's 2 or 3 eligible spots.
I think you can have 1 up there.
Well, you got the one on East Death Mountain. That's the ferries. You got the one on West Dark Death Mountain.
Oh, I didn't take into account Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, you need to consider that one because that one is accessible without mitts. It's the only one that's accessible without mitts, actually.
It was just a hedge against that slight possibility of maybe the second sword being Dark World access through Agar with
Yeah, but then
The
we had no
retro-
lamp, so it's like, where the heck is that?
Yeah, it was an early safe play, especially in Kakariko, because I didn't really found much aside from that glove first. So if
Yeah,
I would have found the hammer earlier, I probably wouldn't have checked as strongly for.
yeah, but I
any
mean, how can you? I mean, yeah, but what odds of Zora having something in retro are probably? I think honestly, I think Zora's way to have items in retro mode a lot higher. I think. I'm just weird because if you think about it, it's like, oh hey, you have a bow, you can do Eastern. Yeah, that's 180 rupees that you need for Armos if you want a quick kill. Oh, you're under 500 now. Oh, that's a shame. And that's something I noticed. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Zora. And when I did Hobo, and I was like, oh wait a minute, I don't have 500 rupees. Let's abandon this and go Houlihan real quick.
Mm-hmm. I actually wonder, you guys were, between the two of you, you'd run mostly out of checks to do besides the pieces you did find by the end. I half wonder if this might have somehow been a beatable only seed. Because, think about the only things they had left for the Friend of Skull Woods between you two. We'd seen Smot, we'd seen Pod, we'd seen Eastern, Thieves. There wasn't much left in the game, actually, honestly, but, Pyramid Ledge was probably your logical 20th because the pod big chest wasn't in. Without a fire source. Or lamp specifically.
Dang it, now I'm actually curious.
So
I
you
don't
did.
think we'll ever know, but it felt kind of like Beautiful Only, especially because he got so
So-
many pieces so early.
How many or how much of Thief's Stone did you check?
I full cleared except for Blind, and Blind had and I know Blind had a compass, so I didn't even bother fighting him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we only have Front of Skull Woods left, and you checked the Front of Swamp.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Catfish.
Catfish.
Yeah, that.
Let's go randomly check that real quick, I guess.
Graveyard Ledge. You checked
Oh,
that.
true. So there were a couple odds.
Graveyard, yeah.
Yeah, so there were a couple odds and ends checks, but there was not much left in the game between the two of you by the time you finished.
Yeah, so
I mean-
so odds are one of these is probably going to be mids.
Yeah,
That would
mids.
not surprise me.
Wouldn't
Hookshot
be
would
surprising.
open up the back of Swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this was
There-
a very dry seed for items.
Hookshot would also open up Pyramid Ferry at that point, so
Oh, I never
There's-
even did a map check. I don't even know what the 5 6s are. Let's see. Oh, cool. Good to know. Looking at the stream now, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's something I actually don't bother checking. I don't even bother checking a map on Triforce because it's like, what are the odds?
That
First,
you need
I
to go
also-
to Pyramid Ferry.
at
Mm.
first I also didn't, but then I was going to clear Eastern Palace and I wanted to know if it's Green Pendant beforehand.
You
Or
didn't.
make
You
that
didn't.
decision.
Well, I also didn't talk to Saha, but that would have been a. I probably should have talked
Yeah.
to Saha. I don't know.
At that point, I routed Eastern before Zaha
Okay.
because I had the bow already and I was kind of preparing for maybe getting a lamp somewhere for logic
Nope.
and seeing if Armos just has Darkwood access.
Yeah, which does remind me actually the Armos piece was out of logic too, because no fire source in sight.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized something else that's in logic.
Huh?
With the cape that I got,
Oh god.
Aga Tower 1.
I forgot that check existed. Yeah.
I know. Well, it's because you usually think it's a key,
Oh
but
my
it's
god.
retro, so you have to remember that. And retro and key sanity could be anything.
Retro threw me for such a loop on comms. I apologize if you guys watch this back. I sounded like an idiot for the first bit.
I don't think there are many comps that are just proficient in those retro changes because it's just not the mode that's played very much.
Yeah, there you'd have to have like an all around player doing the comm. Which
Well, I mean, Retro is gaining traction
that's
with
good.
the new Retrance mode that got added.
That's true. Yeah.
But Retrance is not that pure retro. With cross keys in the mix already, most of the parts of retro are kinda negated somewhat, and it's really just instead of specific small keys, you have general small keys and the rupee bow. So Retrance does not change as much with retro compared to other modes.
Mm. Yeah, it doesn't entirely help that I'm primarily more on the Ocarina of Time randomizer side of things and just kind of LTTPR once in a while for fun, so the more obscure modes can and do throw me for a loop.
That's
It's
fair.
educational, though.
It's kind of like me when I'm watching some of the Zooters. I'm like, what the heck is this flag set? What? When I look at it.
It goes both ways. You could definitely hear my OTR side leaking a bit into comm. I'm reasonably certain they're supposed to be called weights in the LTDPR. I was not calling it that. Oops.
It's whatever. Well, it's kind of like the playful banter we had at the beginning of the the beginning of the seed. It was oh hey 21. I guess that was the 20th piece right there. What was it? Yeah, we were like pendant. Yeah, it was like pendant swamp is the way of the hero, and I was like crystal turtle rock is plundering crystal turtle rock is a foolish choice.
It probably would have been in the seed if you ever got
Well, we
access.
don't have access to it, so yes.
Yeah, that's true. It could have just been beatable only.
It feels like it, honestly.
Yeah, I
unless you
think
can
this is beatable. I'm running out of checks. There's ether.
Yeah, you had Ether, you had Fake. I mean, you had Kane. Just a whole lot of items that by themselves did absolutely nothing for you.
Really just Graveyard Edge after this, and then yeah, really looks like a beatable.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
now I only have the one chest in the back of Skull, and what's left?
Graveyard
Graveyard
Ledge.
Graveyard. Yeah. Yeah, this is actually beatable. Ooh, this is scary. I mean, this has we have to get some form of progression.
Yeah, if you don't find anything resembling progression, then beautiful only it's only 30%. I mentioned it earlier because of the Karabiki being in the basement threw me for a loop because again I'm a doofus with retro, but even still it feels like beautiful only now because the game just gave you so many pieces at the beginning and so few items. It's just such a bottleneck seat. It felt like it might be beatable only just because of that.
Well, in my experience with Triforce hunts,
Mhm.
you actually tend to get 30 to 50% of the stuff early.
Mhm.
I mean, you still have to have the keys logically placed somewhere. You still have to have your normal progression through the seed somewhat. So they have to be placed in a certain manner. But after that, there are not that many items left to place, and have to get half of them as Triforce pieces. Yeah, in the first 10 minutes you check 20-30 checks.
Yeah,
it's not unusual to get actually quite a few pieces there.
Oof. We're down a graveyard ledge.
Oh no.
unless
Literal last location or
unless
beatable.
unless there
Wait.
is something we have missed. And I don't think so. Actually, where is my tracker? Just so I can make sure.
Well, I have checked my tracker and
Sick kid. Did
I checked
Raylan
ticket,
checked it.
hard piece.
Yep.
you got ticket? Oh! Bumper Cave is also in Logic too, and Spike Cave is in Logic. So I have a couple extra checks.
True.
Not okay. It's not Bumper.
But yeah, ticket was on the way to Skullwoods for me with the flute. I had 2 bottles. I could just see if it's my 20th piece, then I don't have to check Skullwoods. So I routed
Yeah.
it in. But that's
Oh.
not the
I didn't check this. Hilly Island.
I think
it's
one
a
of you
key,
swam
it's a key.
past it.
Okay, it's a key. Okay.
I did check.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure one of you swam past it at some point. That's yeah. It's a
Yeah, I didn't because I saved and quit after Hobo when I saw my rupee count.
key. Mhm.
I swam there before Hobo, or on the way to Hobo.
Okay.
I really like doing that on fake zippers so that I can swim into the portal from the right. And
Yeah,
Yes,
I tend to do that too,
uh,
but when I saw my rupee count, I kind of went, nope. Okay, so now it's potentially just that cape is required. Ooh.
That would be dumb. Cape of Stevestown big chest, Raylan. It was also literally the only thing you found in Stevestown.
Yep.
Which is kind of funny. I was like, is there going to be anything in here? Because I think at that point Raylan might have been in pod already. And it's like, please find something here to help you bail you out in case pod ends up being fairly dry and slow. Nope, just
Yeah.
a cape.
Nope, just the cape. And I'm like, well, okay.
yeah, when I had a choice to, well, what to do in the Dark World, I thought about doing Skullwoods and Thievestown, but yeah, for once one I had the keys for pod, and second Thievestown, the checks, especially in the backs, are slow, and I just felt like pod was the answer today, and it was.
Well, good on you for guessing that one correctly.
Yeah, I paid out with 3 pieces, and then yeah, you just picked up your last couple.
Beatable only.
Why am I not surprised?
Beatable
Yeah,
only Triforce Hunt.
Yeah, the only thing I have left was Hera, but you said you went into Hera.
Yep,
I was in
there was
Hero.
a
We have the bugnet and the map.
Like
Yeah.
map,
dungeon
and then
item.
so big key had to be. Well, no, that doesn't necessarily mean the big key's down there.
We have no
Unbeatable only.
fire. Whatever
Yeah.
is in there.
Yeah,
It's-
but in beatable
We can
only,
get
that
it,
doesn't
yeah.
have to be a big key.
no. In any case, though, you don't have a fire source, so it doesn't even
Mhm.
matter.
So that's done.
Lumberjack was junk. Raylan
Lumberjack
checked
is
that.
Jack. Okay, sick kid. I'm just going through my map. Aga one I did.
Mm.
The only thing we have left in escape is Dark Cross, which
No
it's
fire
not in
source.
logic.
Logic.
Yeah, Ahelia Island. The rest of Swamp, we don't have a hook shot. The rest of Pod, we don't have a lamp.
Nope.
Also, I full cleared pod. There's
Oh, you
just
did?
Yep.
Helma left.
Oh, just Helmasaur's left? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's-
beatable only. 100%.
That's hilarious.
So there were only 21 Triforce pieces available. That's
Wow,
actually scary. That's actually scary.
I wondered though.
Well, no, there's only 20 pieces available.
I was gonna say there's only 20 because both Armos Knights and the Pod Big Chest are out of logic
Yeah.
without lamp.
Oh, then that's 19.
No, Graveyard.
No.
You said no. There's 20. Pyramid Ledge was one, and you mentioned you
Pyramid
found
Ledge.
another somewhere.
Oh wait, so that means there's 22 pieces.
22 pieces, 2 out of logic without a lamp. Lovely.
Wait a minute. What were the two? Hold on. What are the two out of logic? Because I killed Armos.
Yep,
You
Armos
killed
is
Armos.
1 out of logic.
Pod big chest.
Pod Big
Pod
Chest is out of
Big.
logic.
Yeah, but we both got that as well. Because I got that one.
Your respective 20th pieces were Skullwood's front and Pyramid Ledge.
Right. But then that's only.
That's like.
But that's
pretty sure you
but that's
mentioned
only
you-
20. But that's only 21.
Where did you mention you found it? I'm pretty sure one of your cleaned up checks had a piece. I forget which.
No, because I've only picked up one. I only picked up one piece, and that was the Skull Woods. We're missing. We have to be missing something.
I think we managed to miscount something someplace, yes, but
No, we have to be missing something. No,
Is
because
that-
that's only 19 pieces in logic.
yeah, no, there's 20 somewhere,
Yes.
but you guys never found a fire source ever.
But we have
Or
no
any-
check left where it could be logically.
No, because
And the
'cause-
Master Sword wouldn't really open us anything.
no, it wouldn't.
No. Master Sword would. Well, no, because I have Aga Tower access, so no. That's the only thing it would open. We don't have a book, so it doesn't open up tablets.
And because
No,
that's the one thing we didn't check for, and that's the Take Any Cave Sword, but when that does not open anything,
No,
it does not matter.
But those are only going to have heart containers. So.
Yep.
That's out.
now I'm curious what happened to this suit, yeah.
What?
Oh,
Okay, there has to be a lamp or a fire rod somewhere, obviously.
There almost certainly has to be, because you guys ran out of checks to do without a fire
Did I
source.
miss a chest in Swamp?
No, you did everything.
I grabbed the big chest, right? Because I know
Yes,
I
you
got
got the big
chest,
chest, you got both
and then I
checks
did
left
both sides on the
side.
left, and I can't go back. And I got bomb wall and the first chest. So that's done.
did you deduce the compass on blind by checking your inventory, or
Yes.
did you count? Okay. Because
I
with
will-
the small keys, there are additional checks in the dungeons. So.
Yeah, Thieves actually did have a small key as well in there, so that helped with that made it easy. Let me just double check real quick now. But I know I looked, and I didn't see a compass. So.
Yeah, I remember what I got confused too, because you found the skull with Steve's piece, and I thought that was the piece that we hadn't found yet. But no, that was the one Raylan got. So yeah, you're at 21. And yeah, I'm a little stumped as to where on earth there could have been 20 pieces in logic due to this.
Okay,
Yes.
so
It wasn't a Gina. I know
Okay.
that.
Okay. No, that's not a weight. So no, I was going to ask a question, but no, that's not a weight. That's impossible. And if it's a weight, it's not friendly. So
What setting out of curiosity?
dark rooms equal true. I don't know. I know you can set that as a thing.
That is not part of any mystery setting that I
No, I know.
of the normal ones.
I know. That's why I'm like, what? It can't be that.
No.
Oh wait
would-
a minute. Wait a minute. There is one more check.
What did we
I just-
collectively forget?
I picked up a Skullwood's big key.
Oh, right.
That would
Oh,
do it.
Point. That
That's
might
gonna be
it.
that's gonna be the fire source.
Oh
No,
no!
it's gonna- No, it's
So
not
it's
gonna be
gonna
the
be the
fire
20th
source.
piece.
It's no. Oh god, that would be worse. Let me just double check. Yes, I have a big key. Okay. Double checking
For
that.
someone in chat, yes, the race is over. We're just curious as to whether or not this suit is beatable only, and so Duke's here doing what little checks we can think of that we hadn't already seen during the race to see.
Hey! It is beatable only, and there are 20 Triforce pieces in logic.
Oh my god!
That is cruel. There are exactly 20 pieces in logic. That is gross.
For clarification as to what beatable only means is that you can beat the game and that's literally it. So in the case of Triforce Hub, you can get enough Triforce pieces and that's it. In this case, you can get 20 pieces and that's it in logic. 22 out of logic, but that's still not much. Nice.
That makes the armor snipe piece so much more worth.
Oh my goodness, right? Because it's Armos Knights or Pyramid Ledge, probably. Pyramid Ledge or Zora Ledge, I think, but you're going back for Zora Ledge because you see it on the way to that gosh dang hammer. So yeah,
What
Catfish,
a
Armos
rude
Knight's
seed.
Pyramid Ledge for terrible pieces.
What a rude seed.
That's friendly mystery for you.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Friendly, quote unquote.
All right, so shout outs to T Sigma for rolling this piece of trash. Shout out.
Oh, we love you, Sigma.
Yeah, alright, GG's to the remaining people who finished the race. Professor Grinder finished 1:15:57 and Captain 1977 just finished in 1:22:20, so GG's to them both, along with the people we already read off. Yeah, people are like, what on earth? Yeah. Yeah, because Armos Knights and yeah, because the two had logic were Armos Knights and Pod Big Chest. Yeah, what a seed. No, the seeds are not vetted before use. There is no spoiler log available for race seeds.
Yeah, they don't do that just for fairness sake and all that, and they really should be, but just saying. But...
Gotta love it.
Well, the logic, at least for version 31, is tested to the extent that there should not be any impossible seeds, at least for usual modes. Of course, mystery, there might just be some combination that just hasn't been rolled yet that should not be allowed, but normally
Well-
there should be impossible seeds. Yeah, this
this came close.
one,
This came very close.
but it
No
is
kidding.
beatable, and
Mhm.
that's how the logic was built. So yeah.
Yeah, I think honestly the last logic error was way back when. It's been years.
Yeah.
But I actually witnessed the last logic error. I was watching somebody do a race and everybody forfeited because the only check that they needed to be able to do was Spike Cave. They didn't have health, so they couldn't brute force it, and they had no invulnerability items.
Oh no. No
And
bottles
what did
either?
it have?
No, they had no way to do it. They couldn't even brute. There was no way to do it. So somebody popped in a Game Genie code after everybody agreed, yes, this is done. They popped in infinite health, and it was a hookshot.
Oh lol.
Oh no.
Yeah, that got reported very quickly, and that was the birth of the next version of the logic. Because we have an impossible seed here. But again, that was a long time ago. So,
Yeah,
but I haven't seen a logic error since.
I mean, ALTTP is one of the more established randos. The logic's pretty well fleshed out. It's kind of hard to find yourself a completely busted piece of logic that somehow hasn't been found yet.
You would have
With
to...
newer randos, you kind of expect that, as they work out logic works and what have you, that it's not incredibly rare to see it. But yeah, it's pretty rare to see major bugs in randos as old as this. Yeah, people only, everyone. 82 checks for you, Raylan. Not too surprised that was your end count.
Yeah, so mine was probably in like the mid 90s or something.
92,
Yeah.
93, somewhere. I did look over it.
Yeah, so about 100 checks accessible period in the seed. Probably less. I don't think he did that much more checks than Raylan Duke in the end, even with all the cleanup.
Yeah.
Well, maybe about 100 total checks available out of 216.
Yeah, so this dude is yeah. So for those who are asking what's going on here, this is a beatable only seed, and we just now figured this out.
Yep. There was exactly enough Triforces available in Logic to beat the game. No more. There were 2 you could get out of Logic, and only 2. Out of 216 checks you could do that have items, only about 100 total were available, period. And no, end screen that is just Triforce only. Triforce Hunt beatable only. You just don't end up finding that many items.
There's just not much more you can find. So
Yeah.
that's all you got. All you get.
Oh, wait a minute. You have a shield. Ooh, where did you find your shield? That'd be fire shield.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's mine was an Aga Tower, so and I know you never got him.
Might
I
have
think
been
his was
just
in the pod Dark Maze.
Dark Maze,
Okay.
right? The
Yeah,
bottom
that's
right
where it
chest, I
was.
believe. You got your Triforce piece and mirrored out, so yeah, that were the shields.
Well, yeah, because I'm not gonna try to fight through the Kadongos and in there and whatnot, because
Yeah,
no,
you
in my
know
luck,
where
I'm gonna get hit by them and they're gonna do like quadruple damage and just kill me outright. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with that.
Oh, there was damage shuffle.
Yeah,
there
damage
yeah.
shuffle.
was.
Didn't
Yeah,
you see me
ropes-
almost die to
ropes
the
hurt.
bush crab?
I came in late.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I went to try to do Dark Cross. I got hit by 2 ropes and died.
I was just farming the 5 rupees there from the bush crab immediately after starting and sank, and I was just and suddenly was just in one heart and was wondering what is going on here, and then it dawned, oh, this is damage shuffle. You have to be careful.
Yeah,
Confused 'cause
yeah,
I
I
did
found
realize
out
damage
it
shuffle
was damage shuffle pretty fast. I was like, oh boy. Yeah,
I didn't realize that damage shuffle could be an option in these flags, so I got confused, and then and then
It's
it was
only
like, oh yeah, that
only
explains
a
it.
20% chance, I think.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we definitely got some of the low percentage stuff. Triforce Sun, I think, is 5%.
Triforce,
only's
beatable
30%.
Assured sword. I think that's
Yep.
low.
Retro's not particularly high either.
Retro.
Yeah, let me look at. Oh goodness, I closed the tab that had the flag. That had the setting. Let me go open it up again. I had a thing of the open up
Yeah,
the
I got
GitHub
it.
weights.
Let's see. Item placement is still questionable. We don't know. So that's the scary thing. We don't know. Dungeon item was standard.
So that was the most common.
I'm pretty sure placement was advanced because if it was basic, we would have seen a smoky in that pinball chest.
Oh,
I think we saw
right.
a compass.
Yeah. You're right. Okay, so we had advanced item placement, standard dungeon item, accessibility, none.
Yep. Triforce 5%.
Tower,
Excellent.
who knows? Ganon, who knows?
Well, Ganon would.
Well, yeah.
matter.
Well,
Check
it wouldn't matter, but it would still be it still does
It would still
roll
pick
the
something.
number,
Yeah.
but it's irrelevant. World
Yeah,
State
World
Retro
State-
10%. We didn't have bus shuffle, so that was something else we didn't get. Or
yeah,
enemy
Randomizer
shuffle.
was off nicely.
Hints were off.
Yeah.
I checked one telepathic tile.
I even said there's 50% hint chance, and I forgot to check for them.
I checked the one in Eastern, and it said you need the bow to do. I'm like, okay. Nope,
Something
don't
about a
bother
red
checking.
flag or yet.
Yep. And then assured sword. Okay, no, assured's 40%. Okay.
Yeah, on friendly assured and I think randomizer.
Now here's
Or
the
is
question.
it
Now
low?
item pool is completely jank.
You guys got like a bazillion
Normal.
green 20s.
It's normal
but
pool because you guys have red mail.
But yeah, you have red. Green,
Yeah.
you have
it's
yellow
red
lights.
mail, yes, but at the same time, we were also picking up green 20s.
No, those are
they're
the
in
arrow
Report
drops.
Retro.
So the green 20s that replaced the sword you got at the start, and it also replaced the sword from the Takeny Cave.
I swear I got more than 2.
Someone in chat mentioned the arrow drops get replaced.
They get
but
replaced by
not with
bloopies.
green 20s.
Those don't get replaced with
Okay.
green 20s.
No, those get
Okay.
replaced by
But,
bloopies.
but we
Those
have
get
hard
replaced with like
containers
something
from
else.
the hard containers from take any might get replaced before
No.
pool. Sure.
No, they
Oh,
don't get.
10
No,
get-
they don't get replaced. They get added on. There's 24 hard
The
containers.
take any
total.
hard containers.
Or there's 20. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's 20. There's 24 hard containers.
Yeah, you can technically speaking overflow your health.
There are 10 keys removed from small keys removed from pool that might.
Oh,
Yeah, so that
the
would
10.
account for
Those are the 10. Oh, so those are the 10 keys.
Yeah, so those will be some of the extra
okay.
green 20s you saw.
Good to know. Good to know for
There's-
future.
Yeah, there's more than 15 keys that are in the dungeons, and yeah, you have a max 15 normal keys in the item pool, 10 at hard. So there have to be some keys replaced.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And yeah, I was confused by the green 20s too, because again, someone who's a bit of a dummy with retro is learning a lot today.
It could have been more confusing, but if you pick up the blue mill immediately before the green 20, you know, okay, this cannot be hard item pool.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Oh, that
was
was actually me. I got blue mail first, and was like, and then green 20. I was like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
That threw me off. I was like,
Yeah, I was like, where's this green 20 from? Because you guys picked up like 2 or 3 of the things in CAC alone, and I was like, where are these coming from? Because he only started with 1 item.
right, so
then
that's
chat
good to so that's good to know. So that those are the actual small keys that got removed.
Yeah, that would explain it.
Good to know. I play a lot of retro. I just don't pay attention to the logic.
Why would you?
Exactly.
I mean, key logic just goes right out the window in retro.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, and how about those silvers in Village of Outcasts? And I'm like, oh, silvers! Nope! Not risking that.
No, I mean, you don't need them in Retro Triforce Hunt, nor do you want them.
Well,
Not like you're gonna kill Vitreous, you're not gonna do Ganon, obviously.
I mean, Argus, Armos.
Couple spots,
Yeah, that's
but
about
they're-
it. That's about it.
But even on Armos, silvers cost 300. Quick kill is just 180. So even on Armos, you do not really want silvers that much.
Well, no, but if you have the money, I mean, you'd rather shoot 6 arrows over 18.
True.
It would depend on the money count, obviously.
Yeah.
Or hey, you can just take 550 rupees. I'm sorry, 650 rupees into Meyer. Burn them all on Vidi.
Well, you take silvers for Helma.
You can do. Oh yeah, you can do Helma.
Yeah. There's a couple, but there will. Yeah. Yeah, silvers are just a chuckle, and those are never getting used ever this seed.
Nope. And then ironically during the cleanup, I actually pulled them out. Like ball and chain guard. I'm just gonna silver arrow them.
I mean, you're doing just cleanup. So
and that's actually the faster way to kill them. Unless I have.
Don't see silvers on that very much, I'll tell you.
Nope. I mean, we only got fighter sword. So there's not even telling if there was a master sword available.
Yeah, because Raylan checked a lot of the accessible entrances that could have been takenis, and he only
Only
found
the
one.
light world, though. There are a few in the dark world that I didn't bother checking.
Yeah, I didn't even bother. Cause...
Yeah, like Dark Witch Hut, Dark Lumberjack Hut. There's a few different ones in the Dark World.
Yeah, Dark Witch, Dark Lumberjack.
I don't think shops can get replaced.
Oh, actually, I'm a
with
dummy. I
takenis.
don't remember where. No, they can't. I'm forgetting where shops are. Is the issue?
No, yeah. You got the Dark Pod Outskirt Fairy Cave. The one cave in Meyer, but we don't have access to that.
Nope.
Or the 2 caves in Meyer. There's 2 out there. The auxiliary shed.
Yeah. Yeah, just probably you weren't getting a second sword this seed either. Because
Nope.
thanks, game.
Well, hey, at least it gave us one to start.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, I suppose there's that.
thinking about it, I think it had to.
Yeah, I think it had to because of damage shuffle.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because it's not standard.
Oh wait, it wasn't
I'm not-
standard.
No,
No,
it was
it
just
was
an
open.
open start.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So, yeah,
retro.
then it could've
Retro is the
just been
world
red.
state.
No, we had assured sword. That was the
Yeah,
only.
retro
that
is
was
world
the,
state, right?
Yeah, that was the only setting that was the only thing we knew before we even started. It's like, oh hey, he's holding a sword. Yay. And I was like, this fills me with dread. Why are we starting with a weapon?
Yeah. But no, I couldn't tell you if it was logically required. My ALTTP or wacky mode logic is not great.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
whack mode logic is great. I play like freaking. I play bloody cross keys inverted full randomizer, just like for breakfast every day.
Sounds like a fun mode. I'd probably would have enjoyed that more than this seed.
Same.
I once did a fun situation. I once commentated during the last season of the league. I had inverted cross keys randomizer. That was an amusing mode. It was 2-4. Still did sub 2. Fun times.
Well, thank you, Duke Firebird and Raylan Tanker, for willing to be on Restream and for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for figuring out the vehicle-only aspect, Duke.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Thanks to you for putting on this commentary and bringing this mess of a seed to the people.
Yes.
Yep.
They would have really missed out on this one.
Yep.
And shout outs to the people. Because if you guys weren't here
Yes.
watching, we wouldn't be doing this.
Shout outs to our viewers, yes. The bot seems to have gone bust, so commands are not functioning. Lovely.
Yeah, be sure to follow our runners Duke Firebird and Raylan Tankier. Be sure to follow our tracker Warren Traveler, my co-commentator, Star1468. I'm Jack C. Be sure to follow all of the Speed Gaming channels, Speed Gaming 2 through 6. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where all past VODs of previous races can be played. You can go ahead and join the conversation on Discord, discord.gg/speedgaming. You can follow us on Twitter. And from all of us here at Speed Gaming, we wish you a safe and happy rest of your day. Thank you guys for watching.
Yep. Thanks for watching, everyone.